Jim Farley is in a tight spot. The outlook for Ford is grim. Numerous failures, complaints, financial losses, and low sales. Following the burden imposed by the U.S. government, namely the mandatory production of electric vehicles, has led Ford to this ludicrous situation. The CEO has publicly stated that Ford will withdraw from electric vehicle production due to the crisis the company is facing in this business. What started as an investment for the future, promising many advantages in various aspects, has turned into the worst nightmare for Farley and Ford overall. Join us to find out what happened. Currently, Ford is experiencing losses with every vehicle sold. But that's not the only problem they face. EVs are encountering issues on the streets, leading to fatal incidents. Meanwhile, political leaders are attempting to conceal these critical failures from the public. This has led Ford, known as the leading car manufacturer in the U.S., to announce that they will not release any more electric vehicles. This decision marks the end of a 2-year period during which Chinese electric vehicle manufacturers were thriving, and the U.S. government sought to capitalize on the electric vehicle trend. With a massive investment of $9.2 billion, Ford was forced to abandon gasoline cars and focus on producing more electric vehicles. Now Ford has a huge sum of money but faces challenges resembling a superhero plot to lead the charge in the United States. For the electric future, Ford had ambitious plans to build 3 gigantic battery factories through a joint venture called Blue Oval SK. This partnership with the South Korean battery giant SK aimed to produce up to 2 million electric vehicles by 2026, a significant increase from 132,000 produced last year. However, the $1.4 billion funding for this operation largely came from taxpayers, who received a $7,500 tax credit as reimbursement. Despite this cash injection, Ford faces new complications as many of its cars have lost eligibility for the $7,500 discount. While Chinese EVs gain popularity in the U.S., they forget to offer the public what they truly want: affordable EVs priced below $30,000. The quality of Chinese EVs under $30,000 may not be the best, but how do you justify paying over $100,000 for a truck? With an average price of $65,000 for electric vehicles, the question is how many would be willing to purchase one that can't even cover 200 kilometers without needing a charge? This turn of events has led Ford to reconsider its strategy and suspend its plans for the future of electric vehicles. The financial crisis stemming from losses in EVs has led to a shift in focus, now concentrating on gasoline vehicles and seeking a 30% increase in sales for the next year. The electric vehicle industry faces a new challenge with Ford's withdrawal, raising doubts about whether EVs are truly the path to the future. In short, I will unveil the precise reason why a 50% increase in electric vehicle prices is anticipated in the coming months, while gasoline car prices will experience a decrease. I urge you to pay attention, as all of this was triggered by a series of events catching political leaders by surprise. Ford, in an unexpected twist, informed automakers that if they fail to sell a certain quantity of electric vehicles each year, they will face hefty government fines. Interestingly, these fines come from the same government that initially provided funding for this project. The company makes money either way. If electric vehicles sell well, they profit from consumers, and if not, they extort car manufacturers. CEO Jim Farley has been reflecting for over a year on where they went wrong. Perhaps prices are excessively high, or maybe electric vehicles don't meet expectations. However, the astonishing revelation is that Farley discovered this was all part of a government plan from the beginning. Despite this, he has decided to defy the current and align more with public preferences. In a results call that resembled a dramatic movie scene, Ford's top executives revealed the truth. Chief Financial Officer John Lawler firmly announced that they will not launch any more EVs, and it's not just minor adjustments. They are completely overhauling the electric vehicle plan. Crucial plans like the second battery project in Kentucky and the reduction of another in Michigan have been halted. The magnitude of Ford's losses in EVs represents a staggering 40% of their capital expenditure. The move not only implies cutting back on Ford's long-term play, but also completely redirecting their focus. Faced with the difficulty of ensuring profits, Ford has decided to suspend its next-generation electric vehicles. Lawler frankly stated that if they can't generate profits, these vehicles won't hit the road. Now let me share the implications of the substantial fines that will not only affect electric vehicle companies, but could also impact consumers' wallets in the coming months. Recently, the government has implemented a rule stating that if 22% of the total cars sold by companies are not electric vehicles, they will have to pay fines. This minimum percentage will continue to increase, reaching 87% of electric vehicle sales by 2030. Given the current market situation, this means many companies will face hefty fines. In an attempt to offset these penalties and losses, these companies are likely to increase their vehicle prices, which could result in electric vehicles becoming more expensive. On the other hand, gasoline cars are expected to become more affordable in the future, with a possible 15% drop in the next 3 months. The reason behind this prediction lies in China, which plays a crucial role in the supply chain. There will be more details on this in a moment. We also highlight the news that Ford dealerships are choosing not to sell electric vehicles, arguing that these cars simply take up space on lots and remain unsold for months. According to a report by Peter Johnson of Electric Tri, approximately 50% of Ford dealerships have refused to sell electric vehicles by 2024, marking a decrease from 2,200 participants last year. When this issue was addressed in an interview, a Ford employee mentioned that electric vehicle adoption rates vary across the country. The resistance to spending so much on an electric vehicle is evident, and the intervention of political leaders and companies often ends up being paid by the general public. The situation reveals a complex dynamic between consumer preferences, government decisions, and business strategies at play. Ford imposed high costs on all its dealerships that wanted to participate in its electric vehicle program. Ford dealerships had the option to choose between 2 certified levels, and elite certified dealerships initially had to invest $500,000 in a public DC fast charger with a total cost of around $1 million. Opting for the elite level provided additional benefits, such as demonstration units of fast chargers featured on Ford.com and more. However, surprisingly, many cars have just lost their eligibility for the tax credit. The Escape and the Lincoln Corsair Grand Touring now only receive a $3,000 credit, and the Ford Mustang Mach-E and the Lincoln Aviator Grand will also lose their electric vehicle credit. Additionally, Jim Farley has abandoned a $12 billion plan to manufacture more electric vehicles, seeking to save money. Selling only 26,000 electric vehicles in the last quarter raises doubts about the viability of buying electric vehicles at this time, especially considering the market downturn and concerns about issues such as electric vehicle fires and range quality concerns. Although Ford is not completely abandoning electric vehicles, they are taking a more cautious approach. They prefer to bet on gasoline vehicles instead of electric ones and expect a 30% increase in sales this year. Ford continues to look towards an electric future, but with greater financial caution. Ford's electric vehicle crisis serves as a kind of reality check for the entire industry. While electric vehicles may represent the future, getting there financially unscathed is the true challenge. With Ford taking a step back, it signals that perhaps reevaluating whether EVs are the only path to the future is necessary. As for the anticipated 50% increase in electric vehicle prices in the coming months, there is a precise reason behind it. I will now reveal that the government, in an unexpected move, communicated to automakers that failing to sell a specific quantity of electric vehicles annually would result in substantial fines. Interestingly, these fines originate from the same government that initially provided funding for the project. This means that the government is poised to profit regardless of electric vehicle sales, success, or failure, creating a complex and challenging scenario for manufacturers. CEO Jim Farley, after more than a year of reflection, discovered that the challenges faced by Ford were part of a government plan from the beginning. Despite this revelation, he has decided to challenge the status quo and align the company more closely with public preferences. Ford's top executives, in a dramatic results call, disclosed the truth about the decision to halt the launch of any more electric vehicles. This significant shift includes the complete overhaul of Ford's electric vehicle plan, with crucial projects like the second battery project in Kentucky and another reduction in Michigan being put on hold. The financial losses incurred by Ford in electric vehicles amount to a staggering 40% of their capital expenditure. This not only implies a cutback in Ford's long-term plans, but a complete redirection of their focus. In response to the challenge of ensuring profits, Ford has decided to suspend the production of its next-generation electric vehicles. Lawler, in a straightforward statement, asserted that if they could not generate profits, these vehicles will not be put on the road. The implications of the substantial fines imposed by the government not only affect electric vehicle companies, but could also impact consumers' wallets in the coming months. The recently implemented government rule states that if 22% of the total cars sold by companies are not electric vehicles, they will face fines. This minimum percentage is set to increase, reaching 87% of electric vehicle sales by 2030. This regulatory environment means that many companies will face hefty fines. To offset these penalties and losses, these companies are likely to increase vehicle prices, resulting in electric vehicles becoming more expensive. On the flip side, gasoline cars are expected to become more affordable in the future, with a possible 15% drop in the next 3 months. The reasoning behind this prediction is rooted in China's crucial role in the supply chain. More details on this aspect will be provided shortly. Additionally, Ford dealerships' decision not to sell electric vehicles is gaining attention. They argue that these cars take up space on lots and remain unsold for months. Approximately 50% of Ford dealerships have reportedly refused to sell electric vehicles by 2024, marking a decrease from the 2,200 participants last year. Ford imposed high costs on all its dealerships participating in its electric vehicle program. Dealerships had the option to choose between 2 certified levels, and elite certified dealerships initially had to invest $500,000 in a public DC fast charger, with a total cost of around $1 million. However, many cars have just lost their eligibility for the tax credit, with the Escape and the Lincoln Corsair Grand Touring now only receiving a $3,000 credit, and the Ford Mustang Mach-E and the Lincoln Aviator Grand losing their electric vehicle credit. Additionally, Jim Farley has abandoned a $12 billion plan to manufacture more electric vehicles, seeking to save money. Selling only 26,000 electric vehicles in the last quarter raises doubts about the viability of purchasing electric vehicles at this time, especially considering the market downturn and concerns about issues such as electric vehicle fires and range quality concerns. So what do you think about it? Do you believe Ford will be able to overcome this? We would like to know your thoughts. Leave your analysis in the comments section. Subscribe and activate the bell. We would love to hear you in our community. So don't waste any more time and become part of our team. You'll receive all the latest news minute by minute. Thank you for choosing us, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.